Welcome to What's Cookin'.
I'm Deb,
I'm Norma.
and today we're having our Halloween.
Woo! Our spectacular foods will be presented.
It's so delicious and
So
fun to make.
Delish. So we are starting off with some Halloween eyeballs made out of meatballs. Ooh. Followed by?
We're doing a vegetable scarecrow, and I'm doing a pesto sour cream dip, and Norma's adding to it with
Little witch's broomsticks made out of cheese sticks and pretzels. Super
Yummy.
easy. Yum.
And then it'll be followed by a homemade ravioli that we're making from scratch, and I'll show you how easy it is. And it's being done without a pasta maker. Now you can also make it without using any equipment whatsoever, like a Cuisinart or food processor, but we're using a food processor today. And that'll be in a brown poppy seed sauce.
Oh, it sounds so delicious.
Really good.
And then we're going to move on to dessert, right? And so for dessert, I'm going to make a really fun chocolate witch's hats filled with some candy. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
And I'm following up with a candy corn jello mold, which is so easy. It takes minutes to make, and then you put it in your refrigerator and it's ready the next day. But it's so good and so fun.
So here we go with our first appetizer.
And we're back.
So I promised that we were going to make some interesting eyeballs that are spooky. So here we've got some that I have made. Now, if you know me and you're my family, you know I make all my meatballs from scratch. But why do that when there's so many good ones out there you can buy? And let's make it easy. So I bought some and I followed the directions, cooked them for 20 minutes. And then here you go. You've got the meatball. And what I did was I put it on a plate of black pasta, which you can find on Amazon or at the markets, especially Italian markets. So I put that on here, let it go cold, and it's like glue. Your meatballs don't move around. So then here's a demonstration. So here's the meatball. And what you do is I've got in here ketchup. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can use a plastic baggie and cut the very tip off at the end and squeeze it. So I just use a little bit as kind of like a glue. There you go. And then I took the pimento olive and I cut both ends off so that it ends up like this. Boom, boom. Now I've got the eyeballs on there. And let's do some more.
You could also add a little bit of cheese, mozzarella cheese, and make the whites of the eyes too.
Absolutely, but this is super easy. And then we're adding ketchup here, oops, to make it bloody looking. And let me get another eyeball. There you go. And, well, I don't like that one. Let me get yet another one. Okay. And now we have, for Halloween, the eyeball meatballs. And then these are the little steaks, and you can put it in like that so that your company can help themselves to the appetizer. So there it is. Super easy. I think all together in terms of the time it takes, the longest it takes is to cook the meatballs. You could do them in the microwave for 6 minutes. I did them in the oven for 20 minutes. But this probably takes 15 minutes, 20 minutes altogether, and you're done.
So easy, so fun, and what a fun thing to have on your table. And, you know, as you see, I love Halloween. It's my all-time favorite holiday because it's just silly and fun. And you can add your decorations to it, and it just makes a beautiful compliment to your table.
The black pasta reminds me of like
worms,
black worms, black whatever.
Snakes.
And it's, do you have to use black pasta? No. In fact, you could use on the bottom of it, you could put pasta sauce. So, but get the chunky one so that looks kind of bloody and gutsy like. But I thought this was a lot of fun. So There you go. Enjoy, manja. And on to our next entree.
And we're back. So now we're going to make a pesto. I'm using pistachio because we love pistachios.
Yeah, pistachios are really good.
So easy to make. And then we're going to mix it with the sour cream, and that's going to be our dip for our vegetable scarecrow. So let me show you how easy it is. So you have your basil that you buy, and then you cut the stems and you put it in here. You add your pesto, and you add a little bit of your Parmesan cheese. You mix it up. So one tool, if you don't have, I highly suggest a food processor.
Oh, you got to have a food processor.
They're the best. If you don't have anything else, have a food processor. Put it on. And then to this, we're going to add the olive oil. Now, it also calls for garlic, but Norma is deathly allergic. Garlic tastes delicious, but for Norma, it's like, no way.
Nope.
So anyway.
I know some people are going, what? You actually don't need garlic. And one of the things that I learned in Italy is they don't cook a lot with garlic. It's a very American thing.
Yeah, but it does taste good. So we do use it a lot. So you put in about probably a couple teaspoons. I'm going to just turn this on, add the olive oil to it. And we are done. And you can see how yummy it is, how good it looks.
Perfect.
And then to this, we're going to add our sour cream. And I always suggest tasting just to make sure that it tastes right, if you need to add any salt or anything like that. The cheese makes it very kind of salty anyway.
Yeah,
so we're going to...
And if you are lactose intolerant and you can't do sour cream, you can add yogurt to this. Labna, which is like a Greek Mediterranean yogurt, works just as well.
Yes. So on anything, if you don't like it, if you're allergic to it, then there's always options to go with.
Always options.
So I'm going to put this, I think, in here. I'm just going to mix it in the food processor. Let it do the heavy work. So let's mix this up.
Yeah, why dirty more things?
Yes. So you use about a cup of the sour cream. And again, we put it back on. And we're done. And it makes a delicious sauce for the vegetables. So for the meantime, I'm going to move this over here, like so. Take this out. And we're going to start with we're making a very small little scarecrow here because we don't have a huge platter. But the other thing I'm going to do is make this for the head.
You can also use mascarpone as well.
Or you can use guacamole. There's a number of sauces.
Oh, that's
whatever you want.
That's a great idea. I think last year we did a spooky guacamole.
Yes. Or you can add a Frankenstein guacamole to this and you're good to go. So there's our sauce. And then you sort of follow a pattern. So I have with us today, and I'll show you a picture, and it's included in our show. Sort of gives you an idea of what we're going to make or try to copy.
So cute, a little skeleton.
But if you want something else, then be my guest and do it. So you make the shoulders, and if you need to, you can always cut a little, make them just a tiny bit smaller.
So it fits your platter. Whatever will fit your platter.
Exactly. So here's the shoulders, and then we do the arms. So you have carrots to make the arms. So you can sort of make it go up a little bit like they show in there, and then you add for the hands, cauliflower. And this is a really fun way to get your kids to eat their veggies. I'm going to find one with less. There we go. Like so. And then the middle are cut up cucumbers.
So that's the spinal cord.
Yep. You see how quickly this goes? So easy to make. The only thing, you know me, I'm always trying to be ahead of the game and make things in advance. But with the veggies, you don't want them out too long because it's not something that you can do.
Right. It
And
won't
then
hold
for the
well.
body, I used brown mushrooms, otherwise known as portobello mushrooms. That makes the frame part. And then you add the legs. As you see, we're going to make him a little bit shorter. He's got one leg bigger than the other. And then you can add cauliflower for the joints in between here.
How cute. It's all
And
coming
you see
together.
how quickly it goes.
Yeah.
And then for the ribs, I like to use bell peppers. I used orange and red. I mean orange and yellow. You can use red, you can use green, whatever your pleasure. And you see how quickly all this comes together. And we'll go like this for a little rib cage. And then, have carrots, that. Okay, and then you can add for the feet little, whoop, they're rolling because this is not
It's
straight.
not a flat platter.
Right. But you can add, I'll just do it this way, like red shoes. And there you go. Let me put this in here a little better.
You know, those little pimento olives I have, we could put that in
Yeah,
there for the eyes.
That would be a great
I
idea.
think I'm going to go get them.
Okay.
Hang on.
And it's really a fun thing to do with your kids, or just if you want to be creative. I mean, people have done cats, they've done dogs, they've done all sorts of things. And there we go. And let me get this arm in. And you see we have our little scarecrow. I'm going to turn it around.
So cute.
And if you had a flatter platter, your tomatoes would stay better. So you can do that. And then I have a really fun machine. It's a Cuisinart, actually, and it makes different types of things with vegetables.
Sure
So you could make shredded
Oh, put hair.
hair if you want. And then it had this other fun thing that you can make it longer hair because it, as you see what it did to the cucumber, we can add some longer hair on here. And they're just fun things to do. Make it long hair and cover up the sides here. And here's another little piece.
I
that's
did
really
a little
straight.
mouth.
There you go.
How cute is this?
And how fun and how easy. And like I said, you can get your kids to help you make it. And it's super easy and super fun.
And healthy.
And healthy too. They use, we have the green pimento olives, but you can use black olives. So it's really fun and easy. So there you go.
It's spectacular.
It is. And then Norma has her witches.
Oh, yeah. I
Don't
almost
forget
forgot.
those.
I got so caught up in this.
Yes.
Okay. So this is also very easy to make. So what you do, here's what they look like. They're little
Broomsticks.
broomsticks with a pretzel. So I'll let Deb put those in there. And I'm going to demo quickly how to make this. You can buy mozzarella sticks, whatever, you know, as long as it's a stick. So I just cut it about here and here. And then what I did was I do a little hole here, not too much. You could see that's where the pretzel is going. And then slice down at the lower 2/3 and just slice down, turn it, slice, 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 and you've got the broom. Okay, and then you take your pretzel stick,
And shove it in.
shove it in, but be careful because it will split. So, and then fan it, and
This one's split.
there you go. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can take a chive and wrap it around and tie it. But again, we're all about simple, fun, and easy. And it didn't get easier than that. You saw how, well, it takes seconds to make. So there you have it.
So these you can make ahead of time. So again, what you can prep ahead of time is the best. But what you can't, then, you make it last minute and just have fun. That's what this
Definitely
holiday is
have
about.
fun. So, one tip: if you're going to make these ahead of time, cut them ahead of time, but do not stick the pretzel stick in it in the fridge.
Soggy.
It'll get soggy. So you wait for the next day.
Yeah.
All
Which
right.
will take seconds, and you can do a whole tray by themselves of just sticks.
Exactly. And you can use these and just dunk it in there. And
Absolutely. I'm sure it's really good.
yeah. How could it not be?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Stay tuned for our next one. Here it comes. And I think, Deb, you're going to be making
the ravioli. So
Yum.
homemade. So
all right. Don't go away.
let's go. Okay. And we're back. So next we're making a homemade butternut squash ravioli. It's so easy to do. It's a little time consuming, not too bad, but it's very easy to do and pasta will never taste the same.
Yum, I can hardly wait.
So we're using fresh butternut squash. You can buy the whole one and try to cut it up yourself, but I suggest make it easy on yourself. Your store has it, or you can go to Costco and they have it. So what we're going to do is put the cut up butternut squash in here. Now, really good olive oil is very important. So we're going to drizzle it, a couple teaspoons of olive oil. And then we're going to add some seasoning, my favorite, porterhouse seasoning. We should get them to sponsor us.
That would be nice.
Yes.
And if you don't have porterhouse seasoning, what could they use?
You can use salt and pepper. And if you don't like pepper, then just use salt. But we're adding other yummy ingredients to this. So the reason I'm starting with this first, because it takes a few minutes to about 15 minutes for this to bake and get very soft. So while this is in the oven baking, and you see you just mix it up like this, and you put it on your cookie sheet, like so.
Spread it out.
Spread it out.
So
now
it
what
doesn't-
we've done today is instead of making the full recipe, I've cut it in half because it's just Norm and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm also, it calls for garlic. I know Norma doesn't like garlic. She can't have garlic. But this is what garlic looks like. And I'm going to put it to the side so that you can, actually I'm going to put it in here and mix it around for a minute so it gets some of that yummy seasoning on it. And then I'll show you at the end what it looks like. So what garlic does, it adds a really creamy, kind of almost a sweet, creamy flavor to your food. But again, if you
And
can't do
nutty.
it,
And nutty as well if you're baking it. Yeah. Okay, so this goes in for how long?
so it goes in for about 20 minutes at 350. So our oven is on, and Norma, if you could put that in for us, that would be
Absolutely.
great. So the word ravioli is an old northern word, and what it means is it's derived from the meaning of to wrap. So that's sort of what a ravioli is. So it's a flat piece that you put your scoops of whatever you're putting in your ravioli, and then you fold it over, and then you make little pockets. So it just folded over, and that's what it is. So today we're making butternut squash ravioli, as I've talked about. And to start, we're going to make the dough. So the dough consists of flour, and this is what's called semolina flour, and it's really great for pasta. It's very high in gluten, so if you're gluten-free, there's other flours and things that you can use. But for our purpose today, we're using the semolina.
And you can buy it at the market, but the best semolina that you could buy is through Amazon, and it's same as what they use for making other pastas as well.
It's the go-to make pasta.
Yeah.
So what the ingredients calls for, and as I said, I've cut it in half, is a cup of semolina flour, and then a cup, whoops, this is flour, and then this regular flour, and then the semolina flour. And then we add a little bit of salt. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of my seasoning salt. And it also calls for, if you want to use it, is sea salt. You can use a little bit of that and some pepper. And then to that, we're going to add a couple teaspoons of olive oil. One, two. Now, you can make this on your own. If you don't have a Cuisinart, you make a little well and then you put all the ingredients in. But for today's purposes, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to make it in the Cuisinart.
Faster and easier.
It is. Trust me. I've tried doing it the other way. It was like 10 minutes to get that done. So here you have your dough. And if your dough is a little sticky or it's not, doesn't form into a ball, then all you need to do is add a little bit more. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to this, a couple teaspoons, and then you mix it all together, and you'll see that it's going to form a ball. Okay, as you can see, it's very like sort of creamy, and if that happens, I've got too much liquid in it, so then you just add a little bit more flour to the recipe.
Because you want it to come together like a ball.
Exactly. So here we go. So here's your ball of dough. And just put a little bit of plastic wrap around it, and it's going to rise. Not really rise, it's just going to take hold. Thank you. And you just let it rest for a few minutes, for about 15 minutes. So here we go with that. And then we're going to get ready to make the other part of the sauce. So I'll be right back. And we're back. So now the butternut squash has been cooking for about 20 to 25 minutes roughly. It just depends on your oven. If you want to turn up the heat a little bit, it'll go a little quicker. So we're going to take it out. We're going to put it back in our bowl that we already had the olive oil. We're going to add some yummy ingredients to that. So let me get that right now. And of course, you know me, we have to have our Halloween mittens.
Of course, of course.
Because it's not Halloween without Halloween stuff.
Oh, it smells wonderful.
So I'm going to put this, maybe if you can grab the paper and put the whole thing in. There we go.
The beauty of parchment.
Yes.
I
Don't
love it.
cook without it.
Okay.
I can just throw that away. Yeah. So last night I made another sauce without the garlic, but I'm going to make this one with the garlic, but this is how it looks, and it mashes up very easily. So I'm going to use my emulsifier, and we're going to put this in, and you can use a blender, you can use your Cuisinart. And
you can use a potato masher if that's what you have, or a fork, a big fork.
Right.
Anything that you have that will do the trick to mash. But this is obviously faster and easier.
And you see the steam coming out. It just smells so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision.
Yeah, smell-o-vision.
See, in just a couple of seconds. We have this yummy goodness, to which I'm going to add a little bit of secret ingredients. So this is thyme. This is, you can use fresh. A lot of times I like to use fresh, but if you're not using fresh, then use half the amount. So it's about a half a teaspoon
of thyme.
Of thyme, because the dried is a lot more potent. And again, it's all into what you like to do. So we mix this in, to which we're going to add a little bit of nutmeg.
Nutmeg.
Thank you.
Here to help. Here to support it.
Yes. So again, just a little bit. And then we have the Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to mix this together again.
Here, I'll hold it. Okay.
Here, I'll let you hold it. Not to mix up with the other that. And if you need any more salt, if you need any more of the other seasonings, but this just makes it really, I mean, this is a true fall food. And Norma's going to turn off the oven.
One of the things I always see on these cooking shows is they never taste their food as they're going along in these competitions. And I don't understand that. So, like Deb says, taste it to see what does it need.
Absolutely, because you don't want to, put it out there and spend all this time to making your ravioli and then go, ooh.
Oh, I needed more salt, or oh, I
Yeah.
forgot, blah, blah, blah.
So I'm going to try a little taste and just see. It's perfect. It's so good. So if you want to taste that one without the garlic. It's so yummy.
Tastes like fall.
It does. It does. Okay, so we're going to put this aside. So we know that the smaller bowl is the one without garlic. And next we're going to do our dough. So our dough's been sitting for about 15 minutes. And I'm going to take it out of the plastic.
My favorite show, the Great British Baking Show. Proofing, we have proofed the pasta dough.
Yes. And you saw how easy it was to make.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on here. And again, parchment is your friend. And this is just so that it doesn't stick. And
It's so much better than foil.
oh, yeah, yeah. And so I'm going to cut a little bit here, like so. Make our ball. So I'm going to do one sheet for Norma, and then I'm going to do another sheet for me. So, and then we have, today we're making pumpkin and witches' hats. So I'm going to give Norma the pumpkin, so she'll know that's her pasta to eat. And the witches will be mine because there's garlic in the witch's hat. So again, you just roll out and then you flip it again. And you want to make it so it's about double the size of what you're using for your cookie cutter. Now, if you're making squares, which you can do if you don't want to do this, then, you make it probably about, excuse me one sec, probably 5 inches by 10 inches, somewhere around there. You sort of see what you're doing. And you
What
see,
I like about this recipe is you don't need to have a pasta maker where you're
Right.
putting the sheets through and cranking it through.
Right.
This is very simple. Not everybody has those ravioli pasta makers.
and you know what? You can do it without. And if you see where
Yeah.
it's sticking a little bit, you just put some flour on your
On the rolling pin.
the rolling pin and you just keep rolling. And it's super easy to roll out. So as you see, I keep turning it and then turning it over. And then and you want this paper thin. So that's the other key to making really good pasta. So I'm going to make this just a little wider. And if you need to, you can also pull your dough. As you see, I'm pulling to get it more into the shape that we're looking for. Now, in the meantime, what you do, and I've already put this on the stove, but I put in a big pot of boiling water, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt to it and a little, just so it's a little salted water for the pasta. Okay, sort of like a little pizza.
Yeah, throwing it up in the air.
Yeah.
Knowing as it would land on our witches' hats.
Yes. And you see I'm trying to make a better rectangle on this. So we roll, roll, roll. And you can see the size of, so this is the size of our cookie cutter, and I know that this will be able to come across. So I'm just stretching it just a little bit more. Okay. All right, so I'm going to give this to Norma, and then what she's going to do is I'm going to give her a spoon, and every like couple inches she's going to put, you can make probably 4.
Put this.
And then put a drop here, a drop here, a drop here, and a drop here. And then we'll be folding over.
Gotcha. And then we'll use this as the cutter.
And that's your cutter. And then I'll do mine for the witch's hat. So let me just move this whole thing over.
I'll turn it this way so we have more room.
Okay.
And it's about a teaspoon?
About a teaspoon. Yeah, you're making little pockets. I'm gonna get
one more spoon.
Here.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Just gonna move you over just a little bit. And as you see, I'm using a little bit more dough. And then once we have this made, we'll cut them and put them on another parchment paper, which we'll move back over here. Put it back on the cookie sheet, which is over here. And then they'll be ready to go into our boiling water while we're making our sauce.
Do I do another row or that's
No. So again, it's to fold over. So you
Okay.
fold it over.
I got it.
And then you can kind of go in between. Use your fingers to go in between. And then you use your cookie cutter.
Got it.
And then you can put it right there like so and make your little pasta. And this is a really fun thing to do if you have small kids. It would be really fun to do. Or your ladies' friends or men friends or whatever friends. You can have a pasta making party and everybody gets to maybe make their own pasta, which could be a lot of fun. And of course, with Norma's favorite thing, wine.
Yes.
See, and it's just a matter of minutes just to roll it out. And again, if it's sticking, just add a little bit of the flour on there. See how cute they are? And then the other thing is what you do is when you're done, you can stick your finger in a little bit of the water and press it down to make sure that it's closed, because that's so important. You don't want any of that yummy filling to come out.
So you got
Oh, that little- Oh. So now as you see, Norma's finished hers. They look wonderful. I've finished mine, but I'm going to do my witch's hat. But if you don't want to do a cookie cutter and you just want to make a little square, you just cut it and then it's ready to go. So here goes the witch's hats. Very simple. You just pull it away. And there's one. There's two. You see how easy the dough is to pull away? And if you need to, you can always cut it with a fork. Now, as I said, you can dip your finger, like on this side, you can see a little bit of the dough is coming out. So just use a little bit of water and it will make sure that the dough will stay together. Or hopefully it'll stay together. And we are ready to go. So we're going to move over these to
the water that's been boiling?
not to the water
No?
yet. No, we're going to make our sauce first.
Okay.
Okay, now we're on to making our brown butter poppy seed sauce. Okay, and we're back. So now what we're going to do is make our brown butter sauce. So it's 6 teaspoons. So I'm cutting this up. And then we're going to cook it on our skillet. And you don't want to do it too fast, but it will brown.
And it's unsalted butter, right?
So I am using unsalted butter, and it's important to use a good butter. I think what we learned when we were just in Portugal and France, had the great opportunity to be there. The food is so delicious, but all the product that they use is so pure, which makes a huge difference in the taste of the food.
So don't use margarine. Don't use any of those fake butters. Use real butter. There is a difference in butters. I was just co-facilitating a class yesterday on butter. And so it depends on where the cows are.
Right.
But American butter is fine. If you want to use European butter, which is...
That's what I used today, was European butter, because it is a little bit better.
It is better.
So now what we do is it'll get a little foamy here. And it just takes a few seconds to melt. And then to what we're going to add is some sage, which adds another warmth of flavor to this, as well as, because it is Halloween, we're using poppy seeds. So they're going to be my little spiders in this. And then that will be ready to go. And in a few minutes, once this starts cooking, we don't want our pasta to cook too long. So what we need to do is put it into boiling water, which it is pretty much, it's ready to go, boiling salt water. And then you cook it, and then they'll come up to the top and they're ready to come out. I have a utensil like this, or you can use a slotted spoon to take it out, so that even if some of the water gets in here, it's going to be okay.
Because it's pasta water, and the pasta water will help to
add to the flavor.
It'll make it thicker. Because of the seminola and all the glutens that are in there. So that's why you see a lot of recipes will say save pasta water and add it. It makes your sauce.
Yeah, like a couple teaspoons or so. And as you see, it's starting to bubble a little bit. And then as this keeps browning, which is the sauce that we want, then you'll see little brown flakes. Little specks. Those are supposed to be in there. And you see it get foamy. And once this part is done, then you'll remove it from the heat, because you don't want to burn it. You have to be very careful. It's brown butter, not burnt butter, which we've all done.
You can see the fats are separating from the butter, and it's turning into a clarified butter.
Yes. So it's just a couple minutes to do this.
It's almost there. It's getting foamy.
Yeah. And some people, if they want, they can skim this off. I don't.
No,
I just
yeah.
leave it all there, all that yumminess.
Yeah, leave it in.
And you can smell it. It just
Mm-hmm.
smells so good.
Yeah, it becomes nutty in flavor, which is what you want from your brown butter.
And it'll start to turn in just a minute or two. And then when we add the sage is going to curl up a little bit. And the whole idea, you don't want to put in, like I said, the pasta too soon, and you don't want to put it in here too soon because it's not quite ready. You don't want to overcook your pasta. Okay, so our brown butter is just about ready, and you can see the brown specks in there. And then to that, I'm going to add, I'm just going to open this up, about a teaspoon, roughly, of the
Poppy seeds?
poppy seeds.
Black poppy seeds.
Yes. Our little spiders.
So that they can get caught in our teeth
Yes.
for Halloween.
Yes. See, and it's still pretty foamy. But underneath you could see the poppy seeds cooking, and
Yeah,
then
it
to
sounds
which
like
we're going
salmon.
to add. Now look what happens. Our sage is coming in, and it's bubbling, and it's going to get really crisp.
And you have the flame on low now.
Yes, I've moved it down to low. And this is just about ready. So for right now, I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm going to put in the pasta in here. And I'm going to turn up the water to a boil, which it's, take a sec.
And as Deb said, pasta, fresh pasta cooks a lot faster than dried pasta. So you need to keep your eye on it and watch it as it floats to the top. So Deb, have you salted the water or?
Let me salt it.
So that's also a key to good pasta dishes, to salt the water. You need to salt it a lot. The idea is that it should taste almost like the ocean.
Yeah, well, maybe not quite that salty for me, but
Well,
a little
the
bit.
Italians would say that's how much you do.
Yeah.
But you're right, we're in America, so maybe
Yeah.
a little bit less.
Okay. So then I'm putting in Norma's pumpkins.
Ta-da!
I'm putting in, and they're pretty well sealed. I don't think my witch's hats got sealed as good. So trying to seal it just a little bit better before I pop that in. And some of the stuff may come out because I had probably, again, it's learning to do this so you have the right amount.
I think a little less filling
Yeah,
might have helped.
would have helped. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's going in.
We're going to eat it anyway.
Yes. And just in a couple minutes, it will boil and it'll come to the top. Pasta will rise up. I'm just going to rinse my hands. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes and our pasta has all risen to the top. So now we're going to take each piece, as you say.
Let me get a plate for you.
Well, no, it's got to go in here first.
Oh, okay.
We're going to put it in.
That's right.
We're going to cook it just another minute or so in here. And as you see, some of the water gets in. That's just fine.
That's fine.
And that's off. And now we're just going to cook it up for another minute or so. And you see the poppy seeds get on there. The sage is on there.
Oh, it smells so fantastic, everyone. Oh.
And then you top this off with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And it just makes the most delicious dish. And you flip it. You carefully flip it.
So if you're having company over for dinner, you can make the ravioli in advance.
Oh, absolutely.
And then just heat it in the sauce
Yes, yes,
and save yourself some time.
absolutely. As you know, my motto, be prepared. Don't do things last minute. Your guests want to see you, not your... And here you go. We have witches' hats, pumpkins, or you can just do little ravioli squares. They have ravioli baking dishes that you can actually put your pasta in, put the little bit of dough in, flip it over, seal it, and make your squares that way.
Or you can make them in rounds and use any cookie cutter that you have. If you've got like biscuits, although those are huge,
Yeah.
but any kind of round. So,
Yeah.
wow, manja.
Enjoy.
Okay, and we're back. So next, guess what we're going to make? Witches hats with chocolate, and inside of these witches hats, there are surprise candies that you see sprinkled around. This is super easy and a lot of fun to make. You can make it with, as we keep saying, kids or not.
Or adults like to
Or
make
adults.
it too.
And so I'm going to demonstrate how to make one of these in no time flat. So here we go. I'm going to push that to the side. So to this, I bought, good luck finding it. It's hard right now because everybody's buying. These are meltables, and these are black. So again, very hard to find. Found these at Michael's, but wherever you can. If you can't
Or Amazon.
Yeah,
Amazon
has
has everything.
If you can't find black, dark chocolate will work just as well. And you could probably even add black dye to it. But this, I got black ones. So we are going to melt these. So it's, for all of these, I did basically half to 3/4 of a bag. So because we're just going to do one, we're only going to melt a few. So we'll put a few, and hopefully this will be enough. We'll find out.
Because you paint it on, right?
You paint it. So Deb, can you put it in for 20 seconds?
Sure.
And it's going to be at 20-second intervals so that we don't burn the chocolate. So every 20 seconds, we're going to check it and we're going to stir it. And it'll take probably 3 20-second intervals to get it just right.
Right.
So I'm going to give this spoon to Deb, and Deb's going to be in charge of making sure that we get the right consistency. So also for this, not only do you need meltables, you need sugar cones.
And as you can see here, this is the first 20, so it's not,
Yeah,
it's
not.
just starting.
Yeah, so she'll do it a few more times to get it to where it needs to be. So in the meanwhile, you know what these are? Ice cream cones. So buy a package, actually buy 2 packages, because when you open it up, never fails, there's some that are broken. So you will need these sugar cones, and then you're going to buy what's called pizzelles. So some of you may not be familiar with these. These are Italian cookies, and they do sell them everywhere. I got these at my local grocery store, but you definitely can get them from any Italian deli or, again, Amazon. And as I said, so she's going to keep doing
That's been 40 seconds.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll be 60 seconds.
Right.
We'll get it where we need. So to continue, these are pizzelles. These say vanilla. The actual true pizzelles are anisette tasting, which is really perfect because it's black licorice. So, little story, my grandmother used to make these for my grandpa. So, anyhow, brings back memories. So, we're going to bring this out. So you see I've got the candies. Now you can fill it with candies, any fun little thing you want. You could even add to it a scary fortune. So let's see how that's doing, Deb.
okay, I think that we should be just about done. And
That's done. That's
So,
done. So
here it is.
you don't want it to be completely melted. You just keep stirring it. So if you could give that a few more stirs. But you could put fun little fortunes, scary fortunes in here. Or if you want whatever. Or if you're pressed for time, don't put anything in it. So, okay. So now we've got the pizzelle, the sugar cone, and you're going to see just how easy this is. So I'm going to fill this up. And if you have a coffee cup, a thin one, you could put it so it rests on it if you're going to be doing a bunch of them. And so then you take what is a silicone brush like this, and you're going to brush around like that to make it
It's
like
the
glue.
glue.
It is the glue. So you're going to add a lot to it to make it goopy. All right. And then you can see there's quite a bit there. Then you take this. It doesn't matter what side you put it on. I used so that the fancy side was here, but actually I'll turn it around. Who cares? Okay, and you put it like that. Then you put it down. And what you normally would do is wait, you press down and wait about 15 minutes for it to adhere. But for the sake of time, we're going to move forward. So the other thing that when I made these yesterday, I found that if I added some more around here, again, gluing it down, and then I let it rest, it came out pretty good. As you can see, look, they raise. So I'm moving this around. Excuse me. Okay, and getting this in there. All right.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. The fun thing about cooking, and especially for Halloween, you don't have to be, everyone is unique and special to what you make.
Exactly.
So that's the fun part.
That is true, but I do like them to come out right. So
Yes.
That's just me. That is me.
Yeah.
So now you see I'm not waiting for it to glue because of time, but I am now painting the bottom of it, right? And going around and around, getting everything covered. Now, the other thing you could do instead of letting it sit and dry for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, you could stick it in the fridge and that would work and that would probably speed it up. So to this, I'm going to add some dark black chocolate sprinkles. Yes, you can add other colors, but you know, it's Halloween and let's go with the black. So I'm adding that at the bottom of it to kind of make it straw-like. And then to this, I'm going to add some eyeballs while it's still moist.
And this would be a fun birthday treat, even if it wasn't Halloween. You could use milk chocolate. You could use colored sprinkles on it. And the kids, or you let the kids make their own.
Yeah. So there's a
hats.
you can make elves with this, and we'll do that on another show to show you how you can turn this into a fun Christmas thing as well. So okay, so we got the eyes down. So now it's a matter of
Just
painting it. And so I'm going to paint it upwards, and I'm holding it, and I'm getting chocolate all over my hands. Uh-oh, I may have to lick it. I hate when that happens. So,
and as you see, this chocolate doesn't dry very quickly, so it's good. So it gives you time to spread it.
It's definitely, that's why it's good to find it in stores such as Michael's and whatnot, where they have the baking section. Okay, and because it's not quite dry, it's moving a little. So I'm trying to be very careful. And we have it done. And so now we will let it rest. And you can see that it looks exactly like these do. So Deb, do you have a spatula?
I do.
Let's see if we're going to live dangerously. I'm going to see if I can put it in the middle. Oh, all right.
Let's move this over. Ta-da!
You can see it's adhering already, and it hasn't even been that long. And
what a fun thing to do for Halloween, for your guests, for kids, for adults.
absolutely,
You might even be able to put, I wonder if you could put one of these in the middle for the emblem. I don't know if this would fit or not.
not.
No, sort of.
Okay.
There.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right, it worked. So we have spooky witches' hats filled with candies and other things, and it just looks so It looks like fun.
Yeah,
It
and
looks
then
like fun.
Norma found these little peeps.
And yeah, you gotta, because we eat with our eyes, so it's all a matter of putting things out. The extra candies that didn't go inside, I scattered them about. And one package of these candies was sufficient to make all of these. So there you have it. You've got Halloween witches' hats.
Enjoy and have fun.
Yes, trick or treat.
And we're back. So now I'm going to make a Jello candy corn mold, and we have these really fun spooky hand glasses to put them in, which adds to
I
our
love
fun.
it.
Yeah, those are
Oh.
great. So this is super easy. So you take the Jello, and you can use sugar-free. So, I know we've been having a lot of candy and all those things. So sometimes the sugar-free.
Does it matter what kind of Jello? You're
Well,
using
orange. Oh, orange. Oh, sorry. I'm like, it's Jello. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I have the Jello and not the pudding because I opened up the bags. Okay, here's the Jello. So, sugar-free Jello in boiling hot water, 2 cups. You put it in and you just mix it.
Oh my God, the
It
smell.
smells. I know, it smells so
Immediate.
good.
Ah,
And I'm just going to let this sit for a minute. Where we just mix and mix and mix and mix. And then to this, we're going to add cold water. So I'm just gonna, and so it's 2 cups to 2 cups of cold water. So you see here, and then I just fill it up with cold water. And we are at,
so this is, you've doubled the recipe.
no, this is the recipe. So this is, it's 2 cups of hot water, 2 cups of cold water, and that's one thing that you have done.
Okay.
Then the next thing you do, and you let that sit. So a lot of times they say put it in the refrigerator for time purposes or not. You let it sit in your refrigerator for about 20 minutes, and then you'll add it to the pudding. So now we put our pudding in, and this is instant pudding. I'll leave our little boxes, and you add your milk. You can't get any easier than this. And you mix, and about 2 minutes. And then this will get, and speed it up a little bit. And then this will get automatically a little thicker. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill this with about 4 teaspoons and then follow up with the Jello. And I put it in a measuring cup because it'll be easier to pour. And then you put it in your refrigerator for overnight or at least 2 to 3 hours till the Jello can really get cold. And as you see, this is starting to thicken up. And then when it's ready, you'll see that it'll be a little bit thicker, and then you'll spoon it in, and then we'll add the Jello, and then you add Cool Whip on the very top and a couple of the candies on top, and you are done.
How easy is that?
And so much fun and so colorful, too, for Halloween. And again, you could use different Jello for Christmas or for Valentine's. You can use strawberry or cherry. There's so many things you can do and put in really pretty decorative parfait cups.
So I see you have it on a medium speed as opposed to a high or a low speed.
I just don't want it to splatter all over.
Thank you.
There's a reason. There's a method to my madness.
And
as you see,
it's getting
thicker. And so as it gets a little thicker, whoops, see, keep it at a medium, otherwise you'll be all over your kitchen.
Yeah, we'll be wearing the dessert.
Yes. And you see it's getting thicker and thicker and thicker. So approximately 2 minutes. And then when you're done doing that, so you layer. So the first layer will be the pudding. The second layer will be the Jello. And the third layer will be your Cool Whip. And I think we're sort of done. And as you see, I'll just do one here real quick, like. And actually, this could be a little thicker, but for time purposes, I'll just show you, and we'll finish it off later.
And in the fridge, it's going to get thick anyways.
Right. Now, so your Jell-O, you don't want it totally hard either, but the reason that you put your Jell-O, just to make it cooler, and as you see, I'm going to pour it in very carefully. Almost to the top, so it looks like that. All right, so I'm going to push this whole thing aside, and we have a completed, dun da da da.
Wow. Oh, look at that. How great
Fun.
is that? That looks so much fun to eat.
Oh, it is.
You
And
know,
then,
if you're having an adult party, you could add liqueur or liquor to your Jell-O.
yes,
Just
you
saying.
could.
Just
Like
saying.
Jell-O shots.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's where my mind was.
Yep. And you put on your whipped cream, and there you have your candy corn. And it's sugar-free, so no guilt.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah.
And then to top it off, we're going to add a few of our candy corns. Whoop.
Runaway candy corn.
Yep. Voila.
Voila.
It's all done. Happy Halloween, everybody.
And we're back. So Deb, what do you have here?
So I have the scarecrow vegetable tray that we made made them into a skeleton.
I love it. With your dip.
With the pesto sour cream dip.
And then here we have the meatballs that are made to look like scary eyes sitting on top of black pasta. And over here we have the witches' hats, chocolate hats. And
filled with candy.
Inside filled with candy, and they're cute.
And the delicious Jell-O cups. How candy corn Jell-O cups. See, we just like a candy corn.
Yes, who doesn't like Jell-O?
Yes.
And then
the wonderful pasta with the butternut squash pasta, and the brown butter sauce with poppy seeds, and then sage on top. Looks yum-a.
It does. So we invite you to please go get our recipes, and more importantly, subscribe.
Yes, please.
Because when you subscribe, you get automatic notices of our upcoming shows. So stay tuned. We have another one coming
Next month,
and it's going to be very exciting.
And then we have all the recipes that will be at the end of the show. So anything that you want, you can go online and get our recipes as well.
So if you do post some questions, I know I've been remiss in responding to some of you. I'm sorry, I forget to go in and take a look, but I promise to respond more quickly to any questions you may have. So enjoy a spectacular Halloween,
Yes.
and let's
And
try it.
always have fun.
Always have fun.
Cooking is about having fun. It's not being perfect, as Norma likes to always be, but it's to have fun, and whatever you do is right for you. So just remember that.
So the food, make it fun, fast, and
yummy.
festive. Okay,
Cheers.
Here we go. Cheers. All right. Oh, I can hardly wait.
This came out really good.
Mm-hmm.
The warmth of all the butternut squash, and with the sage, the wonderful flavors of the butter. It melts in your mouth. It's so good.
So good.
And again, you can do it with garlic or without.
Till next time, everybody. And don't forget to watch us on What's Cooking with
With Norma and Deb.
Bye.
See you next time.